What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Parrot Press. Today's video is all about the Specialist Limited competition. We are going to be talking about why you guys should be playing it and why I'm going to be playing it. We're going to be looking at the players that I've picked up for this weekend, and we're also going to be taking a look at my rare lineups as well. Let's get into the video. The first reason why I'm going to be playing Specialist Limited is because it's an interest for me over the winter. So as you guys probably know, have watched my videos before, my gallery is America based, MLS based, and their season is actually ending in the next few weeks. So I've got a couple of options to make. I either buy a rare threshold team or buy a whole rare team and try and let them into All-Star and get some rewards that way. Or I look at a limited side, or I basically do nothing, or I try and trade, all of these different things. But the best thing that I think that I could do is play Specialist Limited. The reason as well is because it's fairly cheap to play. And you can trade people in and out of your side for a limited cost. I mean, for the last 6 months, I've been looking at rare prices, and some of them are obviously, as everybody knows, like a couple of ETH or an ETH or just short of that, something like that, to get some good players in your rare sides. But with the limited, it's fairly cheap because you can, because there's a lot of them, basically. So it's a liquid market. You can quickly get somebody in, you can quickly get somebody out as well. And not only that, the rewards for this competition is amazing. They can be amazing. So this week alone, right, you could win as a star rare. So you put limiteds into this lineup and you can win rare cards. You can win a star rare being Kimmich, Jota, Courtois, Vinicius Jr., something like that. And if you win one of these cards, I mean, my gallery at the moment is around about 4 ETH, and I think that that's underpriced because obviously my prices are dropping because the MLS season is coming to an end. I think when we hit January, February time, then I should go up probably about an ETH, to be honest. I'm looking at about 20–25% to go up in value if I keep all of those players, which at the moment my plan is to do so. But if I was to win a 2 ETH card, which the winner won a 2 ETH card last week, by the way, and I think he's already sold him and revamped his gallery. But if I win 2 ETH, that's basically 50% of my gallery as of today. You know, that is madness. And if I was to be putting this, if I was to get a limited stack together and putting them in All-Star, then there's no way that I'm going to be winning a 2 ETH card. You know, you can win your Mbappes as a limited and things like that, but I don't know. I get more excited about the rares. I'm not going to turn down a limited Mbappe, don't get me wrong. But the rewards for this competition can be amazing if you get obviously your side right and you finish high up on the leaderboard. The another reason is because there's no stacks. So if I was to play All-Star Limited, you're going to be coming against, should I say, Ajax stacks, Inter Milan stacks, Celtic, Bayern Munich, Liverpool, PSG. These stacks where people have invested heavily into the limited, and if PSG wins, say, like a 6-0 or something like that, they're going to be finishing at the top of the leaderboard, basically, when you've got the likes of Mbappe, Neymar, Messi. Same with Celtic, that they're smashing it with, you know, Joe Hart in goal, Carter Vickers at the back, Jota up top. So the good thing about this is that you can only have 2 players from the same side. Which means that you eliminate all of those stacks. Now, don't get me wrong, people could still have a couple of PSG players, a couple of Celtic players if they meet the requirements, but you're not up against them. You're not up against 5 of them, basically, which is a positive for me. And the last thing, the last reason why I'm looking at playing this is because from a trading point of view. So the requirements for this is I think you have to have 2 players under an L15 of 40, one over 60, which means the other 2 fall between 40 and 60. So people are scouting. Now, for me to put my lineup, which I'll come on to in a moment, for this week, it took me probably the best part of maybe 3 to 4 hours to whittle down exactly who I want to get in my side. So people are going to be doing that for their sides as well. And if the filters are the same and we're looking at Sorare data and we're pulling the right players and the best players, hopefully with the best matchups that week, who fall in between these different criteria, 60 plus is a little bit different, but especially the below 40s. If I can pick them up around about the Monday, the Sunday night, even if I can obviously do the math and make sure that they're not going to be over 40, if I can pick them up on the Monday and then sell them on the Thursday, I think that I'm going to be making some profit. So my plan moving forward is going to be highlight the players that I want, pick them up and pick up maybe 3-4 of them if my ETH balance allows it. Submit one lineup, obviously, and then with the rest of the players, wait until Wednesday night, Thursday morning, or even Thursday night, and try and sell them on for a bit of profit. So yeah, I've got a chance of winning rewards. It's something where I can scout my players and have real good interest over the winter, and also I can make some ETH if I trade well. That theory, we'll come on to that in a few weeks' time and see whether that was a hit or miss. But let's take a look at the players that I went ahead and got. The first one here being Hubert, or Hubert, or however you say his name. So he plays in the Belgium league. He plays for Ostend, or Ostendi, however you say that name as well. But you can see here he's right on the cusp of that 40 or below from his L15. What you'll see here is as well is that I actually overpaid a little bit when you look at this graph, and that's only because I bought the new season card. Now with Specialist Limited, you don't need to have XP on your players, but I feel as though I'm going to be trading or getting players in and then trying to get them out for the following week, or maybe 2 weeks down the line if they don't qualify for obviously the team that I'm trying to put forward. And I think that a new season card will give me the best chance at actually setting them on, because if they don't meet the criteria for specialists, then people may potentially be picking them up just for the fact that they want them in their side, or they want to put them in an all-star or a challenger or whatever cards I pick up into those competitions. So it just gives me the best chance of getting back what I paid. If I can pick up a bargain as well, that, you know, the new season card for what the old price is going, then that's beneficial. That's what I want to be doing. However, not only that, what I could do is put an all-star team together. So if I get some rewards and I, keep some of these players, I can then put in an All-Star Limited, or just on the off chance. But mainly is because I want a good chance of trying to sell them on. What you will see is that his graph, his points graph, that is, it's not fantastic, but he is capable, just like any goalkeeper, of a clean sheet. And if he gets a clean sheet, then I'm in the running, basically. The last time that he played the opponent that he's going to be playing, I think they are 17th in the league, I believe, which are quite close to Hubert's club. But the last time we played them, he got that 67 there. So he had a clean sheet. And hopefully he can get another one. The other player that I was looking at here was the Schalke goalkeeper, because they play Bochum, I think, which is bottom of the league. So he's another good shout if people want some goalkeeper advice. However, he is double the price of this guy. And as I said, with goalkeepers, they're all capable of a clean sheet, just like any forwards capable of a goal, whatever. But I didn't want to be paying 0.08 for a goalkeeper who, if he does have a clean sheet, obviously it would mean good for him in terms of a score. However, he will then plummet because he'll probably go over L40, and then I'd lose, point maybe 0.04 rather than losing 0.01 here. So that's my goalkeeper. Moving on, Konyaspor are an amazing defensive stack this year. They are currently, I think it's second in the Turkish league. They are yet to concede a goal, and they've just been fantastic defensively. They've actually got another guy at centre-back, Calvo, who I picked up his super rare earlier this year and then sold him because he was moving to Konyaspor and I was focusing on the MLS. But he's definitely shored up their defence as well. But this guy, his graph here, you can see by his L5, he's got a 74 L5. The last 5 games he actually has played for Konyaspor. Before that, he was playing for somebody else. So he is very, very capable now as an attacking fullback for a good defensive side at scoring high, just like he did in his last game in '94. So this guy actually qualifies as my L15 plus 60 or over 60 scoring average. But the reason is because they are also playing a very low down team in the Turkish league. And who doesn't score often. So I'm hoping for that clean sheet for Agus or Ogus as well. You can see here that the logic that I was saying at the beginning of this video around buying a player earlier in the week and then selling them later in the week, you can see kind of applies here. Now, don't get me wrong, there's going to be a ton of players that are over 60, but if I was to get him in earlier and then they look at the matchup with Konyaspor are playing, especially because they haven't conceded, he's going to be appearing in some of the filters, in some of people's criteria and what they're looking for, and the price will obviously start to go up. So he's one of two Konyaspor players, and I'll come on to the other one in a moment. But the next up is a guy that I'm extremely familiar with, who is Romain Saiss. So he transferred to Besiktas from Wolves in the summer, and although he's had a couple of terrible games, the 8 and the 22 there, which is obviously far from ideal, but Saiss is very capable of getting a decisive. He is a threat in the box. He scores for Morocco quite a bit. He used to score for Wolves. He used to be in my FPL fantasy team as well, at least kind of for a couple of weeks throughout a season. He's very solid at the back. He obviously plays for Besiktas, who are a very good side in the Turkish league. I think they're sitting top at the moment, and I hope for a clean sheet for him and a good AA score. They have got a tough game though. I think it's first versus fourth as the standings currently sit. But that team that they are playing midweek as well. I don't know whether it's tonight or it might be tonight, because I think these guys play on Monday. So I'm assuming that game is tonight. So hopefully they're a little bit tired. Hopefully they've got a little bit of travelling to do. And Besiktas and Saiss can be defensively solid at home the weekend. Second player from Konyaspor, let's just call him Amir, because I'm not going to pronounce that surname. But this is the guy who falls in between the L15 being between 40 and 60. And again, same reason, he's got a really good matchup. This guy is a bit of an AA monster. You can see there from his L40 that his AA score is 22. He's got some great scores in there in the high 80s and the 90s as well. And you can see his form in the last 5 games when the league's been back. He's steadily been getting better, and hopefully, yeah, if he whips in a corner and a goose comes in at the back post or something like that, that would be great. Obviously, a double decisive, but yeah, I like this guy, especially if he can be scoring in the 80s. Absolutely, and also with this, I mean, if he scores in the 80s here, he's L15. Might go to 59. I might only have like another week's worth of using this card. However, he's the type of player that as soon as he has 1 or 2 good runs or a couple of 90s or something like that, 90s back to back like he had at the 93 and the 98 there, I think his value just will automatically go up. You can see at the start of the season, people obviously were aware of this guy, and he was 0.04. If I can get him back there, all of a sudden, you know, doubled. Well, and sell him, then I've doubled the amount of ETH that coming back into my account. So he's the next one, and the last one is another Besiktas player, somebody again that I'm very familiar with, Weghorst. So he played in the Premier League last year. He played for Burnley. The year before that, he was in the Bundesliga playing for Wolfsburg. He is a seasoned veteran. He's a very good player. I've shortened the graph there that you can see. You can only see his L5 scores. That's because he is a new signing for Besiktas, as I said, because he was at Burnley last year, and he has already scored, got the assists, got many decisives this year. You can tell that he is going to be their main man, their number 9. And just behind him, you've got people like Dele Alli, Nkundu, Fernandez, and there's another guy as well who's been playing right wing. I think Chani mentioned him in his video this week, and I think he even picked up his rare, potentially even maybe his super rare. But Besiktas do look a threat going forward, and I think that I'm going to have a couple of a good few weeks use out of Weghorst because he's only 50 for his L15. But top quality player in the top quality side, and yeah, hopefully we can get decisive this weekend. So what does that team look like? This is what it looks like. So it's a three club team. We've got the Belgium guy in there. We've got 2 teams from Turkey, 2 of the best teams that are first and second at the moment. And I'm just quietly confident about this side. Even if I can get myself a tier 2 rare, I'm going to be happy, obviously, because it's a reward. Yeah, I'm hoping for a little bit better than that. I just need Besiktas to have a really strong game. They're all at home. Well, I need them all to have a strong game, but in terms of Besiktas, have got the toughest side to play against, but they are all at home. So fingers crossed for the Specialist Limited this week. The other 2 lineups that I've got, my America team here. So I've got the Philly defensive stack because they are just so good defensively. The best in the league. We've got Blake, Wagner and Elliott. They are against Orlando. Orlando played last night in the Cup, which I think that they won. But Orlando are not fantastic going forward. Hopefully they're a little bit tired, and Philadelphia are at home as well. So I'm hoping for another clean sheet there. We've got Acosta as my captain. He didn't play this week or midweek against New York because he was suspended, but he will be back this weekend. So hopefully he's fresh and ready to go there. And I think that they're playing San Jose, which is a good lineup for him. We have Diego Rubio there as our forward as well, and I think he's playing against Vancouver, which is again another good matchup for him. Vancouver are not defensively solid. Diego Rubio is the main man for Colorado, so fingers crossed for a good AA and a couple of decisive there as well. So again, another lineup that I'm quietly confident on. Hopefully they all start. They should all start. They've been starting for their clubs for the past, probably 10 weeks or something like that. But quietly confident there. And then lastly, I've got my all-star rare side, which is the Seattle stack yet again. I'm yet to have a really big haul from these guys. But they've got to play every game from now until the end of the season to obviously try and get into those playoffs like it's a cup final. They have to start turning up. Otherwise, I think that if they lose this weekend, and they're playing Austin, I believe, as well, which is a really tough match. They are at home. Austin's just come off the back of a heavy defeat to Nashville, so hopefully confidence is low and morale is low in that dressing room. But we'll see how it goes. I'm not quietly confident about this lineup because it's all dependent on Seattle, really. We've got Zelarayan against Montreal. Zelarayan, even if he doesn't have a decisive, he's very, very good in terms of AA as well. So not that you're guaranteed, but you're pretty close to a 60 pointer with him, kind of week in and week out. So with that captain's armband on, obviously, that'd be a decent score for him. And then we've got Zimmerman, who's just come off the back of a 100 scoring week. Trust it to be the week where I don't play him. But is what it is. I've got some players on the bench, actually. I've got Brandon Bayer, who is a decent fullback for New England. I've got Reynoso, who I'm not playing because I'm just sick of that guy at the moment. Last 2 or 3 games I've actually watched of Minnesota, and he's been so bad. Really, really lazy. However, I'm not running him down because he's very, very capable of 90+ scores. He is the kind of main man, but he has got a swollen ankle. So for those guys who are thinking about playing him, he is a bit risky. And it is one of the reasons, along with he's just getting on my nerves, basically, why he's sitting on my bench. I've got Lovitz on the bench as well. When I say on the bench, just not playing, obviously training. And he's a very, very good player for Nashville. I think he's really underrated. He's such a low price as well. But yeah, I've got him off. And I've got somebody else, Quieto, for Montreal, who has been really, really good form. They play Columbus. Columbus are not too bad at the back. They're quite solid. So he's a player that I've left on the bench as well. Let's just hope Morris can outscore him, because that would really annoy me. Or maybe might be a last minute call where I bring in Quieto over over Morris, but in Morris we trust. Anyway, that's what I'm looking like. I've got 3 sides this week, which I'm really, really excited about, guys. And good luck for this game week. If you like this video, hit that like button. If you want to see some more, hit that subscribe button. And I will see you guys in the future.